Hi, I'm Diane from the conservatory, and today we're going to be potting some bromeliads. We have a couple here that you can see have really filled out their pot. The one over there, you can see that it has flowered already and it's past its prime. So the thing about bromeliads is that once they've flowered, that will be pretty much it. After they flower, they will die. It might take quite a bit of time for that to happen, but they only generally flower once. So after they flower, they do produce new plants. We call them pups. So what we're going to be doing is taking this out of the pot, which can sometimes be challenging. So we can see that we have a lot of different plants in here. Some of the younger ones are pups right here that have formed from the mother plant. So we can tell sometimes the mother plant is very soft inside. So what we're going to do is try to separate these out. So I'll take a sharp knife, and sometimes they can be pretty tight in here. So bromeliads generally don't have a very big root structure because they are epiphytic, which means they grow on other plants. So a lot of times you'll see bromeliads growing on trees. Now, and sometimes this takes a little bit of work to separate them. Now this here you can tell is very soft. Sometimes it's easy to see when they've flowered, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you really have to look in there to see if it has flowered already. So I'm just going to throw the old mother plant out. So bromeliads like a soil where you can keep them moist but not wet. This one's a little in there. So you can see the little pups growing in here really well from the mother plant. Now ideally you would like to not transplant the pup until it's about a half to a third size of the mother. So here's another good example where you can see this pup coming from this mother. So I'm just going to try to separate those. And you can see that there's roots on this pup here. So, as I said, the soil that we use, this is our recipe. We have 3 parts orchid bark, 1 part giant perlite, 2 parts peat wool, 1 part rock wool, and 1 part charcoal. So it's kind of big and airy in there. Now actually, one other thing I'm going to do before I actually plant that in here is that at the conservatory we keep track of every plant that we have. So every plant that we have is numbered, has a name and a number. So I want to transfer these onto the new pot. So I'm going to make a few holes in here so we can transfer that information. So I will transfer this, and then I will also record this on our sheet, and then it will be put into our computer system. So bromeliads are usually pretty easy care. There's a lot of variety. They don't get too many insects problems. They're pretty nice. And then I will just stick that in there and get a little more soil from here. And just tuck it in. And we'll just make it nice and firm in there. I'll water the soil in, and I'll also put a little water in the middle here. This is called a tank bromeliad, where there's a rosette where you can have water in there. And then I will record that, and that's about it for the repotting. Thank you. Have a great day. Have fun with bromeliads.